to the second part of our workout. We're all warmed up, and now we're moving on to the strength component. We're going to do what's called a plank rotisserie. We're going to divide our body into 4 parts: our anterior flank, our 2 side flanks, and our posterior flank. And we're going to work each side of our body for about 30 seconds each. Let's start out with the anterior plank. In 4-point kneel, we're going to position ourselves. Our hands directly under our shoulders, our knees under our hips. We're going to tighten our abs to make our back strong, straighten out one of our legs, and then straighten out the opposite arm. And we're going to hold that for about 10 seconds. So that would be about 3 breaths. We'll do 1 big breath, 2, and 3. Good, let's switch to the other side. Getting our abs engaged again by tightening towards our spine without moving our spine. Straightening out our leg to the wall behind us. Straightening out our arm towards the wall in front of us. To make sure we're not getting any neck stress, we're going to be looking at the mat, pressing our body away from the ground through our shoulder girdle and keeping those abs engaged. Let's do another couple of breaths, and I bet you we've got that 10 seconds. Good. So that worked our anterior flank. Let's move to our side flank. For that, we're going to do a half side bridge. Laying on our side, knees bent, line up our knees and our hips, our elbow right under our shoulder. Let's lift up and hold that position. Okay, in this position, you should feel lots of work through your waist. You should be really squeezing your butt so that you can keep that hip from drooping towards the ground. One of the things I like to do in this position to keep my neck relaxed is to move my arm. So that'll help us breathe too. Let's take a breath in as we bring our arm above our head and breathe out as we lower it back down. And we were already holding this posture for a few seconds, so we're gonna do maybe 1 more breath in as we bring our arm above our head and breathing out as we come down. Good. Let's switch to our back flank. So for that, we're going to do a shoulder bridge. Laying on our back, feet together, knees together. We're going to squeeze our shoulder blades together, cross our arms across our chest, set our abs, squeeze our buttocks, and lift our hips up. Okay, what I'm looking for with this posture is that I've made a straight line between my knees and my shoulders. Okay? I like to hold planks for about 30 seconds. The reason for that is that with core strength, we want to make sure that we can keep our back in neutral and breathe. So if we hold it for too short, we might be kind of holding our breath with not even realizing it. So the goal would be to be in the posture long enough that we know that we weren't holding our breath. So that's about 30 seconds because I've been talking. Okay, so we did our right flank, we did our posterior flank, we got our left flank left. So let's turn, and you guys can just do this as the plank rotisserie because you're working in a circle just like a pig on a spit. Okay, so let's set up for our left flank. We're going to lift our hip up. We're going to make sure we're in a nice straight line this way, but also in a straight line from our throat, sternum, belly button, and down to our knees. Okay? Let's do a few breaths in, just to really keep our neck from getting sore. So breath in as we reach our arm above our head. Breath out as we come back down. Breath in as we reach above our head. Breath out as we come back down. Okay? Holding this posture, if people have a neck history, sometimes they complain that their neck gets a little sore. And I find if I engage my shoulder girdle, my neck doesn't seem to hurt as bad. 1 more breath in above our head and breathing out. Perfect. Let's go back, start our second plank rotisserie with our anterior flank. This time, instead of doing the super dog, we're going to do a front plank from the knees. So we're going to get down on the mat, bend our knees, place our elbows below our shoulders, set our glutes, and then lift up and hold. Okay? In this posture, we want to, again, try to be a board. We want to look like a board from the side. between our knees and our shoulders. We want to think of pressing our body away from the mat through our elbows and keep those shoulders engaged. And our neck should just be comfortable. We can look slightly ahead, but if you had a big ruler, you should think that my head was the same line as my trunk. And that's to keep our neck from getting stressed. In this posture, we're trying to do all this pressing, but we're also staying relaxed and breathing. Good, and that's about 30 seconds. So we've done our front flank. Let's go back to our right side flank. So I'm gonna face you guys. Get myself positioned here. And lifting up and holding. We'll do this for 10 arm movements this time. Ready? 1. Breathing in 2. 3. If you ever feel shoulder stress, just watch that your elbow is not too far away from your body. If your elbow gets really far away from your body, that's a lot more work on your shoulder. So be elbow right underneath the shoulder. I think we're on 7. Good. 1 more and that'll give us 30 seconds. Breath in and breath out. Good. We've got to do our back flank again. Let's do that good old shoulder bridge. We're rolling onto our backs, bending our knees, feet together, knees together. I like to kind of scrunch my shoulder blades so they're flat on the floor. Okay, and squeeze them together a little bit too. Setting abs, squeezing butt, and lifting up into our shoulder bridge. And I'll tell you, if you have tight quads, you may get a nice stretch through the front of your legs as an added bonus to this position, okay? The primary worker in this exercise is your gluteus maximus, and so you just want to try to squeeze your buttocks as hard as you can, but you want to leave your hamstrings fairly relaxed, okay? You feel the work in the glutes versus your hamstring. 1 more breath in and out. And that's our 30 seconds. What have we got left? We've got that left flank. So you guys can keep spinning around your rotisserie. I'm going to face you. Coming to our half side bridge. Got that elbow in a good spot. Lifting up and holding. Okay. And let's do our breath. Breath in and out. Breath in and out. The side bridge has really good research on it. They've shown that in this kind of position, you recruit the most number of muscles that stabilize your spine with the least amount of spinal compression. So as long as you have really good shoulder strength, this is a great option to get a super good workout for your back muscles, your core muscles that support your spine. And 1 more breath in and out. Good. Now we're going back to our first position to start our 3rd plank rotisserie. And that was my goal today, that we'd do 3 full rotisseries. So this time, for our front flank, let's do a half push-up, okay? If a half push-up's too hard for you, why don't you do the first exercise we did, that super dog, okay? So we're on the floor, hands underneath our shoulders, knees bent, set our abs, squeeze our buttocks, and press up. And I'll let you guys decide how many push-ups to do. We're looking for about 30 seconds of work. So if you can get 10 to 20 push-ups in that time period, that's awesome, okay? Push-ups are such good strength for our bodies. They're super basic. They've been used for years to create good strength in our shoulder girdles, but also in our core by keeping our low back really quiet as we push ourselves away from the earth. That was about 15. Okay, we got to go back to our right side. Get our last side bridge done for the right flank. Lining ourselves up, lifting up, and go. 1, 2, 3, Breathing in all the good energy, just blowing out your day. Whenever you can do a breath pattern with a movement pattern, you'll find that'll help you regulate your breath and make you less likely to hold your breath. One more, breath in, whew, out, good. We've got another shoulder bridge to do to get our posterior flank. Tucking our shoulder blades under, bending those knees, feet together, set your abs, squeeze the buttocks, and then press up. I like to tell people to think of really pressing their heels and feet down into the ground while maintaining good control of your rib cage. I don't want to see people overextending their mid-back and having their ribs higher than their hips. I want you to think about keeping your ribs towards your pelvis so that you're in just that super nice board line through your body, okay? Good, one more breath in. Think of really squeezing your buttocks and let her out. Whew, we got one more side of our body to do. We've got that left side plank to do to finish off our plank rotisserie. So let's bend those knees, get ourselves lined up, and when you're ready, lift up. Good. I'm thinking about setting my abs, keeping my abs tight towards my spine. I'm thinking about squeezing my buttocks, okay? And then let's go. Breath in above the head and out. And in and out. Planks are a progression for core strength for your spine. I usually start just when people have really acute low back pain, just trying to teach people how to set their abs and breathe, okay? I like the super dog to be super easy. And then we move on to the planks. And they're really about finding neutral in your spine, being able to breathe, and working on the endurance to hold yourself there. And when you've done enough of a rotisserie, you're gonna feel a little bit of shaking in your arms. That's fine. If you're unable to hold your spine in neutral, that's a sign that you're a bit too tired. You need to move on to a different muscle group. There we go. So we accomplished 3 plank rotisseries today. A good starting point for your core stabilization. And now you can move on to the next YouTube video